Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. I'm extremely excited to be here today with Tessa Bott, who I will introduce in just a moment. Today we will be talking about Atua Enkop, or she will be talking about Atua Enkop, rather. We've worked with Atua Enkop for quite some time now, and this is actually our first official webinar introducing them to the travel trade. So better late than never, they always say. So Tessa is a UK-based, works with a UK-based representation company, and she's been working with the Atua Enkop for quite some time. So she's actually going to be the one introducing the topic today. But before we get to that, and before I let her take over everything, I'm going to take a quick second just to introduce our portfolio to you. So I think I skipped mentioning this, but my name is Jenna, and I work with Emerging Destinations. We represent cool companies in cool places. Atua Enkop is based in Kenya. So since we are talking about our African portfolio today, I will just introduce very, very briefly just our African portfolio to you. Of course, if you have any questions for me about any of our emerging destinations products within our portfolio, I'm more than happy to answer those. Tessa, are you able to switch to the next slide? Of course, no, it's Murphy's Law, right? Whichever button you used before seemed to be working.
Yeah, let me try
again.
There you go.
There we go. Okay, perfect. So up in the top left corner, we have Adventure Consults, who's a DMC in Uganda and Rwanda. We have Anantara Bazarudo Island Resort, which is a resort on the Bazarudo Island off the coast of Mozambique. Atua Enkop, who Tessa will be introducing today. We have the Vani Victoria Falls Resort Hotel, Garango Safari Co, which has 3 different properties in South Africa, in the Makalali Reserve. JW Marriott Maasai Mara, who is a 5-star property located in the Maasai Mara in Kenya. Mara Siena, which is a brand new property, will open about 2 years ago on a private reserve as well, in Kenya also. So we got quite a few things going on in Kenya. And then last but not least, we recently added a new area to our African portfolio, Yachty Travel, who are a DMC in Morocco. So I'm more than happy to answer any questions about any of those companies that you see up there on your screen. Of course, you can see my email at the bottom of the screen there, or hopefully you can. It's jenna@emergingdestinations.com. So hopefully everyone's pretty familiar with me and knows how to get a hold of me if you do have any questions about those. A couple of housekeeping items to go over before I officially hand things over. So this webinar will be recorded. All of our Emerging Destinations YouTube webinars can be found on our Emerging Destinations YouTube channel and our Emerging Destinations website. So if there are any previously recorded webinars that you'd like to have a peruse through, that's where you can find those. Of course, this one will be there as well. We will also be sending out the webinar recording to anybody who might miss parts of this webinar today or might have to duck out early, whatever it may be. So I will send you out the recording and the webinar follow-up. And then I think last but not least, Tessa is going to stay on after her presentation to answer some questions. So if you do have any questions for Tessa that you think about throughout the presentation, you can type those through using the GoToWebinar control panel under the questions tab. So please feel free to participate in that. I will be asking Tessa all of those questions at the end of her presentation, or as many as we can get through, of course, time permitting. We know everyone's very busy these days, so we want to try to keep things as concise as possible. So if we don't get to your question by for any reason, then we'll make sure to send them out in our follow-up as well. So I think that's all the talking I have to do for today. I'm going to officially hand things over to Tessa, and y'all will get to hear about Atua Enkop. Thank you.
Hi. Sorry, my screen is not wanting to work. There we go. I'm just trying to get you so that you can see it on full screen. So I'm Tessa Bott, and as Jenna mentioned, I run a small marketing company based out of the UK, and I've been working with the Atua Enkop product now for about over 10 years. So I know the product very, very well. I do have other products as well. I've got a property in southern Tanzania, Saduka Linda Camp, a DMC in East Africa, and African Sun Hotels in Zimbabwe. But we are obviously focusing on Atua Enkop today. So Atua Enkop is, the name means out of the earth of Africa, and they have 5 luxury camps all across Kenya. If you know Kenya, you'll recognize the names of the areas. So you've got Samburu in Samburu National Park in the north, which is north of the equator. We've got Elephant Bedroom Camp. Then moving south, Nakuru, we've got Mbweha Camp. In the Masai Mara, we have two properties, Mara Ngenchi Safari Camp and Tipulakwani. And then we've got a new property which we took on board in August last year, and that is called Elephant Gorge Camp. So I'm going to start up the north. I'm going to start with Elephant Bedroom Camp, which some people may know because it is quite a popular camp. And it's a beautiful, beautiful property. If you have a look on the map here, you can see where it's located. It's located right in the heart of the Samburu National Reserve on the banks of the Wasaniro River. The property is named Elephant Bedroom Camp because of the elephants. We get a lot of elephants coming into camp. We are not a fenced property, but the elephants respect our space and we respect their space. And it has quite a reputation for the elephants being in camp, but Samburu as a whole has a reputation for amazing elephants. And, you know, you can go days where you won't see any elephants in camp. This is an aerial view of the camp. It's 14 tents, 12 of those are standard tents with 2 deluxe suites. And again, here are some photographs of our lovely grey friends visiting the property.
Hey, Tessa, sorry to interrupt. We just had a couple of people say that you're speaking a little soft. I'm not sure if you're able to just speak up a little bit. That would be lovely.
No problem, I will do.
Thank you.
The main part of the lodge camp is this image here. It is all on raised deckings, the entire camp, and as I said, unfenced. This is the main area. This is the heart of the camp. So this is where all your meals take place, where you meet for your game drives or your evening drink before dinner. We've got lovely raised decks overlooking the river, and we do offer other private dining scenarios if it's possible. Here are the tents. So as I said, we've got 12 standard tents which look like this, and each tent is again on a range deck, and they all have their own private plunge pool. Being an unfenced property, we can't have a swimming pool on site because obviously the elephants would most probably use it. So we have private plunge pools on the decks of each tent. This is the tents. We have a configuration of twin and doubles with an ensuite bathroom. Bathrooms have hot and cold running water, flush loos. You've got every convenience of a hotel room. That just gives you another view of them. And there's our lovely plunge pool, which is on the deck because it can get quite nice and warm. Then we've got 2 deluxe suites. These are just a little bit bigger. They have a bigger plunge pool and they have an extra living space. So you've got your main bedroom, which one tent is a twin, the other one's a double, ensuite bathroom with a lounge area. Now the bed is more like a bed that turns into a sofa. So we can have children in camp. We can put another bed in here, and it does close off, so it's like a private room. But there's only one bathroom, and the bathroom has a bath and an outside shower. We do offer spa treatments, and obviously in this area we do all the game activities. This is a photograph of the Samburu 5, which are unique species to the area. And it's very important to note this because lots of people who are into wildlife will go to the Masai Mara and they won't be able to see the reticulated giraffe or the gravy zebra or the gerenuk, which is that funny antelope that looks like an impala standing on his back legs. So you'll only see those species here. I'm going to go south now to Mara Ngenchi. So Mara Ngenchi is our 5-star property right in the heart of the Masai Mara. As I said, it's right in the middle. You can't get a better location, and it's on the confluence of 2 rivers, the Talek River and the Mara River. So fantastic for game viewing. This gives you an idea of what I mean by right on the confluence of the river. And here you've got 12 tents, 6 tents facing the Mara River and 6 facing the Talek. This property, like Elephant Bedroom, is all under canvas and there are no fences. We do take children of all ages, and we are very aware that everybody gets escorted to their rooms all the time. It has a main area, which you can see in this photograph, and then a separate bar and a separate dining area. And with lunches, we often do al fresco outside. The tents here are very different. They are ground level and they are on a landscape aspect. So it's very open to, you know, lovely open views. And each tent is in its little private, I won't say garden because it's not a garden. It's a boma, if anybody knows what a boma is. It's like a natural bush wall that surrounds each tent. So each tent is extremely private. And the only people who really come in are the hippos that mow the lawn at night. Here is another view of the tents. Each tent has an ensuite bathroom again, hot and cold running water, flush loo, and you've got a bath inside in the bathroom, and then there's an outside shower next door to that. That just gives you more of an idea of what the tents look like. They're quite different to the ones at Elephant Bedroom Camp, but they're all very, very large and spacious, and we have the doubles and the twins, and we can put extra beds if necessary for children. Each tent has its own private plunge pool, and we do offer a massage service where they come and do massages in your little private garden area. One thing I want to mention about all the camps is the food. We do not do buffet meals. So all the food in all the camps is on an a la carte basis. So you'll get a choice of 3 starters, 3 desserts, 3 main course, and a number of vegetarian options as well. And in the camps, all the chefs usually come and talk to you about how you're enjoying your meal. Is there something you'd like to eat? It's very much a staff engagement type of properties. Then I'm going on to Tipulakwani. Tipulakwani is what I would call our 4-star property. It's on the edge of the Maasai Mara. So it's not in the heart of the Mara, but it's just on the edge on the Talek River. It's a beautiful property. It's just a little bit bigger than the others. It's 20 tents, but again, all along the river. Being 20 tents, it does mean that the main area is more substantial. So it's more of a building. And being outside the park allows the camp to have a swimming pool, which is a very big plus, especially if you've got families, because inside the park you can't have a swimming pool. So it's a lovely place for children. And we do have 2 family rooms, which are 2 tents back to back, each with their own bathroom, but a common veranda area or decked area, and the one is a twin and one is a double. So it's fantastic for families. To access game drive, you go over a bridge and you are in the Maasai Mara. So your game drive vehicle and guides will meet you the other side of this bridge and take you on your game safaris. This is the main reception area. As you can see, it's a little bit more substantial, but there again is the main area, which houses our lounge, our bar, as well as the dining area. And here again, all our meals are a la carte. We don't do buffets. We do obviously do things like bush lunches, bush breakfasts. If we can accommodate guests, we'll do that. And here is some examples of eating a little bit more al fresco. These are the tents. They are on decks as well, doubles and twins with an ensuite bathroom. Again, hot and cold running water and flush loos. There's 2 different images because we've got new tents, 7 new tents, which are now on a little bit raised decking and a little bit further away from the river, just to avoid being flooded. And there's another view of the tents. In the family tent, we do have a bath in the bathroom, a lovely roll top bath. So that just gives you an idea of the accommodation there. Again, it's a fantastic location. You can do all your game drives wherever you want to in the Maasai Mara, being right on the edge of the park. So it's a fantastic location, and the service is amazing. Then moving further south, well, a bit north, in between Samburu and Masai Mara, you've got Lake Nakuru. You might know it's only about a 3-hour drive from Nairobi. And here we have Mbweha Camp. Now, it's not in Lake Nakuru National Park. It's just on the edge of the park in its own conservancy, which is great because it allows us to do game activities in Lake Nakuru National Park, as well as the Soy Sambu Conservancy, which is around near Lake Elementaita. So there's a lot to do in this area. If you know Lake Nakuru National Park, it is a rhino sanctuary. So a lot of people who are driving from Nairobi through to the Masai Mara, they will go and stop off in this area. And this is just the perfect little camp to do it. It's small, it's only 10 cottages, but it's got everything you need. The cottages are quite quaint. Every cottage is individually decorated. We have a swimming pool here as well. This is our lovely sunken lounge main area with a lovely fire where many a tale is told, with a bar, and then you've got a separate dining area as well. Again, all the meals are a la carte, and the waiters are just delightful here. They're very, very attentive, and the chef will usually come and ask what you want to eat. It's great. Here are some ideas of the cottages. They are either doubles or twins. We've got family units as well. And each cottage has its own star bath. So rather than have an outside shower, here we have an outside bath. So you just let the staff know when you come back from a game drive, if you'd like a bath, they'll organize, run a bath for you. It's a lovely, lovely little property. Here you can see a different configuration of tents. So you've got a double and 2 singles. As I said, fantastic for families. Just some more views of those fun bathrooms and the fun cottages. There's a lot to do here. So we can do, because we're outside the park, we can do mountain biking, we can do bush walks, bush dinners. They can do a camel safari through down to Lake Elementaita. You can do sundowners at Lake Elementaita, or you can do a full day game drive in Lake Nakuru National Park. So there is a lot on offer in this area. It's sadly, I think, missed out because a lot of people fly from Nairobi straight to the Mara. But if you drove, this would be a lovely 2 or 3 night stopover en route to the Masai Mara. Then I'm going to touch on Elephant Gorge Camp. Now, this is our newest property. It was completed in June this year. When I say completed, there were 5 rooms originally, but we increased the number so we could take for the accommodation and the size. It's situated just outside Amboseli National Park. So it's about a 30 to 40-minute drive to Amboseli, but it's in a conservancy called the Aloka Conservancy. And here we can do things like night game drives and walking. So there's animals all around camp as well. We've got a lovely waterhole at camp where the elephants and giraffes come down to drink, and I think they've recently just seen their first leopard. So Elephant Gorge Camp, as I said, has only been open since June in its entirety, and the views here are just stunning. That photograph in the bottom corner of Kilimanjaro I took in November last year, and if you are lucky, which you are quite often, you will get these amazing views of Kilimanjaro. So here, these are the new rooms, the new suites. We've got 7 of these. They are lovely big suites with an ensuite bathroom, bath, shower, outside shower, plunge pool, as well as a separate living area. And again, we can take children, so that separate living area can be converted into almost a separate bedroom. 2 of the suites are in a family villa, They can be sold separately because they both have separate entrances. But if you've got a family, it's a wonderful opportunity. You can stay in the family villa, and it's got a lovely central lounge area, and then 2 of these exact same suites either side. So that's just a different configuration. This just gives you an idea of the decor. It's quite a contemporary feel, so quite different from the other properties. And you can lie in your bath and look at Kilimanjaro, or lie in your bed and watch the sunrise. It's beautiful. Then we also have 5 deluxe rooms. These were the rooms that were originally at the camp. 2 of these rooms have views of Kilimanjaro, and these are a little bit different. They're a little bit smaller, but they also individually decorated. So each room has its own character. Again, ensuite bathroom. We don't have outside showers here. They've got an inside shower and a bath. So you've got all the amenities. The camp has a swimming pool, a lovely infinity pool, and a beautiful decking area overlooking the waterhole. And as you can see, you can sit right there and watch the animals come down to drink. You almost don't need to go anywhere. Again, all meals are an a la carte menu. I stress that because it's the meals and the food in all the properties are just wonderful. They're fantastic food. And if you're going on a long safari, food is important. There's our reception little table where people come in and get individually checked in. And yeah, it's just a wonderful, wonderful property. It's very new, and it's the up and coming place, I think, to stay in Amboseli. As I said, we can do walking safaris, we can do night game drives, and we've got a wonderful spot where you walk to and have a sundowner overlooking the gorge. Now, it's called Elephant Gorge Camp because there is a gorge. It's quite hidden, you wouldn't even know it was there, but there's this beautiful riverine gorge that flows through the conservancy. But it's all about the views and all about the elephants in Amboseli. And that was me. That's done. That's pretty much everything I have to tell you about the properties. If there's anything you've got any questions about, please let me know. The properties are fantastic in terms of price point. You know, we don't charge hundreds of thousands of dollars per person per night. And I know there are a lot of properties in all these areas that do, but our rates are incredibly competitive for what you get and the experience you get, with whether it's the animal experience, the game viewing, or the hospitality and the staff. It is a very, very good price point for the type of properties that you want. And all our properties are all managed exactly the same way. So you've got a standard that is upheld throughout all 5 properties. And I think, yeah, that's me done.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much, Tessa, for that presentation. We already have a few questions coming through, but if you do have a question for Tessa, please feel free to type that through now using the GoToWebinar control panel. Sorry, the most recent one was if you could just repeat the price point ranges for the properties. I'm not sure.
Okay, I've got rack rates based 2024. So Mara and Genchi high season will be about $980 US per person. And for instance, Elephant Bedroom Camp, Elephant Gorge are about the same, about 800 per person. Tipulakwani goes down to about 600 US per person, and then in Genchi to about 450. So that's very rough idea of rack rates.
Perfect. And I will say I haven't been to the new property since it got the renovations, but Tess, I believe you were there in the last few months, correct? At the Elephant Gorge?
I was there in June, just as it was opening again after the renovations and the rebuild.
I will say it's an absolutely stunning property, and I was in one of the original rooms where you could in fact see Kilimanjaro. So I don't know, we somehow lucked out, and every single day that we were there, we had perfect views of Kili. So I know that that's not necessarily the norm, but I was laying on my bed the one day, and the clouds just opened up to this magnificent peak. It was very, very stunning, very special moment. So do keep that in mind that we do have fantastic views. Of Mount Kilimanjaro, and with only 20 minutes away from the park. So you can't get much better than that. On to the next question. So obviously most people, if you're familiar with Kenya, have heard about the massive flooding that took place there this past spring. So just a question, if you could touch on how our properties in the Mara were affected, how they fared throughout the flooding.
So Tipulakwani was affected, but it closed very briefly and then reopened one half of the camp, and then they rebuilt 7 of the rooms. And as I mentioned, they are a new type of room on a raised platform, so and a little bit more set back from the river to avoid that flooding again. That river can flood. It can go from very, very low to very, very high in the space of a couple of hours. But luckily we have made the contingencies of how we approach our accommodation so that hopefully it won't happen again.
Wonderful. And now this is a great question, and something that I was actually going to mention. So thank you, Diana, for already asking that. Tessa, are you able to speak about any offers that we have for combining the camps, since they're all within the same collection? If guests want to do a circuit, a full Kenya circuit using our properties?
There are offers available. I don't have them for 2025 confirmed yet, but they certainly do some circuit discounts. That does occur, but I can't give you exact details on that. And we also do offers throughout the year where sometimes we are able to include flights, etc., depending on the amount of nights you take. So we can definitely keep everybody up to date on, and yourself, Dana, on any offers that come through. But I don't think they've been finalized yet for 25.
But we definitely do offer them. So I will include what specials that we currently have happening right now in our webinar follow-up. And of course, as soon as we get anything confirmed for 2025, I will send out a separate e-blast to everyone so that you have that information as well.
And just to let everybody know that there is online availability on the website. So people can check what's available. It does help in real time sometimes to be able to check availability online.
Absolutely. And since I think that's it for questions, let me just do a triple check that there isn't anything else that I missed. I think since we're right on the 30-minute mark, we will wrap it up there for today. But of course, I'm always available to answer any questions that you might have on any of the properties. So my email is jenna@emergingdestinations.com. Or if you have something more specifically for Tessa, then I can also share her information with you as well, in case there's something specific to the presentation that you heard about today. But thank you so much, Tessa, for taking time out of your evening to join us. And of course, everybody else as well.
It's a pleasure.
So thank you so much for that. And I will be sending out the recording to everyone later this week. So have a fantastic Tuesday and a wonderful October 1st.
Thank you, Jenna.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone. Bye.